that wants to find me. I'll be in the last place you would look, in a place where people used to be, a land that's called reality. You'll find me there. I won't be catching up on Reddit. I won't be watching any news. I'll let the planet spin without me, 'cause everything has been without me sometime. And everyone will be alright if I'm not live by satellite. It's a beautiful day, I'm running away. Don't bother to Facebook message or call me.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Film Box Podcast, a movie podcast that's pretty great. I'm your host, Aaryn Souza, and I'm joined today just by Connor. Sam is unable to make it to this episode, but we roll on, and we're back. Connor, how you doing?
Doing well, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy 2024, everyone. We took a little bit of time off. As I'm sure you could tell, we didn't have an episode for almost a month, but holidays were here and family was visiting and the New Year's came around and it's the holiday season. So we decided to take a little bit of time, but we're back as always. And we got a fun episode for you today.
I'm excited. It's been so long.
Yeah.
There's like a scratch that's been needing to be itched.
Yeah,
And
I know.
finally, we got the back scratcher out today.
Yeah. So this episode, we're going to do our usual. We're going to talk about what we've been watching lately. We're going to do a movie grid, and we're going to do, of course, our 30 pods of movies, which we'll get to very shortly. But we're also going to talk about our favorite movies from each month of 2023. So instead of just doing like a very bland, like, here's the best movies of 2023, like everyone else is doing, we're trying to break it down by month so that like there's going to be some tough conversations.
It's gonna be.
months.
It's definitely going to be interesting because some months were much better than others.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fun, and
Yeah.
we are not above any other like podcaster because we will probably have
No.
an article about our top 10 favorites.
100% we are.
And not just probably have 4, I guess, because we'll have a site wide and then each of our own because we need content.
Yeah, content. That's all. It's what the game's about. But before we get into all of that, let's real quick run down what we've been watching lately. Connor, why don't you hit me with it?
Yeah, so since it's been a while since we record, I've knocked out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 movies.
Oof.
Damn. So starting off, I did a double feature. I did a Charlie Brown Christmas and It's Christmas Time Again, Charlie Brown, one day.
Nice. Nice.
Killed 30 minutes. Obviously, they're very cute. A not so cute double feature. I did Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Oof.
The movies, the last couple DC movies, they're not bad, but they're just nothing special.
They're not great.
They're just average, I'd say.
Yeah.
Speaking of a movie that might be a little controversial that I think is average, I watched Love Actually on Christmas.
Ooh.
A little spicy take there. Wasn't the biggest fan of it, but still a good movie, but not my favorite. I knocked out a bunch of 2023 releases, starting with The Iron Claw, which is the Von Erich's family wrestling movie with Zac Efron. So good, so devastating. Cried in the theater multiple times.
Multiple. Wow.
Oh, dude, it is heartbreaking. And so I'm not going to spoil it, but it's basically about like the tragedy surrounding this family. Apparently they only feature 4 brothers. There was a 5th brother who would have tied into this as well, or technically Sixth Brother would have tied into this very well. But I want to say it was the director was like, no, that would just be way too brutal and too devastating to put on screen.
Oh, Jesus.
And yeah, that movie did not need to be more devastating. But it was great. Get Zac Efron into the Oscars. I saw Poor Things. Phenomenal as well. It's going to be a very close race between Emma Stone and Lily Gladstone for Best Actress. I'll say that. Saw Passages. It was okay. You know, decent movie. It's one of those movies where like you don't want to root for the lead, and the movie's just like, that's okay, because we're just gonna make him do the dumbest things ever.
Nice.
How to Have Sex, which title might suggest one thing, but it was actually a kind of a sad movie.
Yeah, very much a hard coming of age type film.
Yeah. Made my skin crawl a bit.
A little bit.
I watched Eileen with Anne Hathaway and Thomasin McKenzie. Pretty good. Leave the World Behind, which I did not like it really, but I think it's more because it just falls into a trope, or not a trope, but a genre I hate of government conspiracy.
Yeah.
It's just they don't do anything for me.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
I watched Anyone But You. Got a review coming out soon, so you'll hear my thoughts there.
Yeah.
And then the most recent one was Society of the Snow. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
It is
the first movie of 2024, I will say.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God! It is one of the more brutal movies. It's
really?
It's a true story about I can't pronounce Uruguayan. Thank you. It was like one of their plane crashes, and it's like a rugby team. Absolutely like brutal subject matter if you know what actually happened, which they do show. And that's about it.
Nice. Well, I have seen, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 movies since the last time we recorded. So I actually have you beat slightly. But I started it off, I watched Maestro on Netflix, which was excellent. Bradley Cooper is deserving of the acclaim, I will say. Some people were a little bit not so, like, a little bit cool on it. I can't agree with those people. I really liked it. I thought it was really, really good. Yeah, it had some misguided focus in some areas, but I mean, it was great. And then I watched Anyone But You, and I really liked it, so it was fun. But stay tuned for Connor's thoughts, and you can go to Letterboxd to see how I rated it. I watched Anatomy of a Fall, which is brutal in a very... not in a, like, this is just like a Society of the Snow kind of brutal, but more so like in the sense of like a societal, like, it's hard. It's a hard to watch, but really, really good movie. Very good legal drama. Obviously a French film. I watched Rebel Moon, which I could not have been more disappointed with.
Oh.
Probably my most disappointing of the year, honestly. I had such high hopes for I was so excited for that movie all year long, and it was just bad. It was just really bad. For Christmas, I watched Santa Claus is Coming to Town because it was on TV, and that's the only Christmas movie I watched this year. That was it. So we cruised right on past, and that was on Christmas Day too. That was it wasn't even like I was watching it leading up to it. Then I watched Dream Scenario, and that was interesting to say the least. Nick Cage nominated for a Golden Globe for that role, and I could see why.
It was well deserved. Give him that.
Yeah. Then I watched Crazy Stupid Love, which I just had never seen before, surprisingly. So, Emma Stone. Emma Stone is like quickly becoming one of my favorite actresses. So, then Em and I watched Wonka to round out the year. That was our last watch of the year. We saw on December 30th. We watched Wonka, and it was magical. Let me just say.
Really?
It was a lot of fun. I mean,
Good.
Is it like top tier cinema? No. But it's a lot of fun, and we had a good time with it. I gave it 3.5 stars. So
yeah, not every movie has to be like some, just masterpiece of emotion. No. Like sometimes you just have fun with movies.
Yeah, and Timothée Chalamet is like the perfect Wonka. So, surprisingly, he was really good. I would say second best Wonka, behind Gene Wilder.
Well, that's fair. I mean, of the three, I think there's a clear hierarchy.
Yeah.
No offense to Depp, but
yeah, no, he was really good. Then I also watched How to Have Sex, and that was tough to watch. I actually had to like take a break from it and come back to it.
Yeah, me too. Gets into some tough subject matter.
Yeah, but it was good. And then I followed that up with Boogie Nights. So I did the sex double feature, I guess.
Oh man.
Yeah. I had never seen it before, so it's been on my list. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to watch it. And that was something.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good. It was really good, but it was something. And then Em and I watched Priscilla.
Yeah.
So finally watched Priscilla, and she was enamored by Jacob Elordi and then weirded out by Elvis Presley.
What?
Well, I mean, it was just the whole. I mean, you reviewed the movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the whole subject of the film is like Elvis was not a great dude.
Oh yeah.
And it was like Jacob Elordi, she was like, yes. And then it was like watching Elvis, she was like, no.
That's what confused me. I was like, the idea of Elvis was confusing to her.
Yeah, no. And then over the weekend, I watched Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and then the original Star Wars, A New Hope. Because they were on TV, and I love Star Wars. And we had a nice lazy weekend, so just kicked back, did puzzles, and watched Star Wars.
Nice. Great weekend for you.
Yeah, it was nice. That's what I've been watching lately. But let's roll into our 30 pods of movies. And this week, we are looking at the movies that make us laugh the most. And I've got two answers that I'm pretty clear on. So actually, technically, I've got three. So two of them are Jackie Chan movies from my childhood. We've got Shanghai Noon, which is, if you don't know, it's Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson in a Western, and it's awesome. And then also the Rush Hour trilogy, but really Rush Hour 1 is my my other runner-up. Those are two really good ones. But that said, the movie that makes me laugh the most is Austin Powers' International Man of Mystery. I love it. Every time I watch it, it's just laugh out loud funny.
Yeah, the Austin Powers movies just kind of blend together for me.
A little bit.
I mean, I guess that's not technically the point, but like it's just one big experience. But they are hilarious.
Yeah, I mean they are great. They're so the first one clears in my opinion. I think the first one's the best, but they're all fun. I enjoy all of them.
So I would say I thought I had two, but if I'm really thinking about it, it's super bad. That movie is so fucking funny.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Every time I could see it 10 times, I'm still gonna laugh. Fuck me, right? Yeah, that's one of my favorite comedies of all time.
Yeah, I mean, deservingly so.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, that was easy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do movie grid before we get into the thick of it.
Let's do that. I'm sharing for the first time on the web version, so this is
wait. They have what were you sharing before?
On the app.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
All right. So our columns: one-word titles, released from 2000 to 2010, and released from 2011 to 2024. Our rows are Ben Affleck, Joaquin Phoenix, and Anne Hathaway.
So Joaquin Phoenix.
Want to do Napoleon for one word?
Oh, I was thinking either her or Gladiator.
We could do her.
Ooh, we could do that. Might be the one that gets it.
Ooh, 20%.
Yeah, I figured they were gonna be the other ones were gonna be higher.
So for Ben Affleck, one word. There's a movie that, for whatever reason, just lives in my mind called Dogma. With him and Matt Damon, where they're like archangels, like destroying Earth.
Wild 5.6.
I saw. Like, I literally saw like the last scenes, and I'm pretty sure like Ben Affleck kills Matt Damon, or the other way around.
Yeah,
it was an interesting movie.
Yeah.
And then one word for Anne Hathaway, since I just saw it. I'm gonna do Eileen.
That's a good one.
14%.
Wow, 14. I'm surprised. So Anne Hathaway, I think it's 2000 to 2010. When was Punch? What? No, it wasn't. What was
Love and Other Drugs?
No, Love and Other Drugs. What year was that? Was that?
That was 2010.
Before 2010.
I think that was 2010.
And, there it is. Okay. Love and Other Drugs. 4.7.
You made up for yourself.
Yeah.
To wrap,
and then,
I guess we could wrap her up. One that just came out. She Came to Me.
Yeah, sure.
1.2%.
I heard a good one. Not a very good movie, but a good poll. I was supposed to do a review on that, and I started watching it, and I was just like, man, I'm not gonna be able to finish this. I haven't gone back to it. I literally got 20 minutes in. I was like, man, I should like this movie, and I don't.
For Ben Affleck, mid 2000s, I'm gonna do He's Just Not That Into You.
Oh, good, nice.
That's one of my favorite ones where all the storylines are coming together.
Anthology. It's an anthology film.
Kind of like the intertwining stories type.
Yeah. There is actually a special term for that, and I forget what it is. But
yeah.
Anyways. Do you think Air would be high up? I feel like everyone's going to be guessing Batman v Superman or Justice League.
I was going to say The Accountant.
Oh, The Accountant's a good pick too.
Just because I feel like I see just clips of that on TikTok, and then I've never seen anyone actually talk about the actual movie.
You talk about it?
5.5.
Yeah, 5.5. All right, now we got Joaquin Phoenix. 2000 to 2010. Let's see, what has he been in?
Walk the Line.
Walk the Line.
What else? Because I think a lot of stuff was pre-2000.
Yeah.
I'm gonna knock out one that I've had on my I have it on one of my watch lists. Come on, with him.
Interesting.
5%.
Man, we are just hitting that right around 5% mark.
Well, because The Accountant, Come on, her, they're on Max or some streaming where I'm always just searching through. I'm like, I don't know if I want to sit down and just watch one of these right now, but I see you. I'm going to put you in my watch list.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to watch you yet.
Yeah, not yet. I do that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The only movie that comes to my mind is Gladiator, and I know that's going to be like the top answer.
Then let's do Walk the Line.
Yeah. Roll it.
Boom.
24%.
Okay.
Ugh.
So the top answers were Argo for Ben Affleck, one word. Daredevil, completely forgot about that movie, for 2010, and Gone Girl for 2011 since. It was Joker for both one word and 2011 on for Joaquin, and Gladiator for
that.
Yeah. So good pull on that one at least.
Yeah, not doing Gladiator.
Yeah. And then Anne Hathaway.
And hey, her was not the highest answer too.
Yes, so I can't give you too much shit. And then for Anne Hathaway down the line, it was Interstellar, The Devil Wears Prada, and Batman, or The Dark Knight Rises. Sorry,
Dark Knight Rises.
I said it. I fixed it. For Batman.
Be mean. We're in the top 6.6%. It's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, let's move on. Now that we've warmed ourselves up, we've gotten ourselves back into it, let's talk about our favorite movies of the year, based month to month, our favorite movies of 2023. Starting off with Shituary. The month that has hardly any good movies ever come out.
It's kind of like the dumping grounds, if you will.
Yeah.
We could have hit like a December, but like we had other priorities, so like it's ready. Like we could just drop in January. Like nothing else is coming out. So I had 3 contenders for my pick, and this isn't my worst month. There are definitely worse months for me, but it's not great.
Mm-hmm.
So my runners up were Skinamarink, very controversial movie, a lot of nothing happening, and the movie Missing, like the spiritual sequel to Searching, I think it was. But my top movie of January was Infinity Pool.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was coming.
Yeah, it was. It was a very wild experience in theaters, and it was a great way to kick off my years watching Mia Goth walk Alexander Skarsgård like a dog.
Wild that came out last year. It feels like so long ago now.
Yeah, dude, January, even fucking like June, it feels like another lifetime ago.
Yeah. So my pick, I've got runners up. A Pale Blue Eye. The Pale Blue Eye is a fine mystery with
completely
with
forgot
Christian
about
Bale.
that one.
Yeah. You forgot about the Pale Blue Eye, and the guy who plays what's his face in Harry Potter. I forget his name, and I feel so bad for forgetting his name. Harry Melling. Yep, Harry Melling. So it was fine. When you finish Saving the World was also fine, not spectacular. And honestly, I think that's going to be my pick for January is When You Finish Saving the World with Finn Wolfhard and Julianne Moore. Looking back at it, I've had no desire to go back and watch it, but it was a fine drama about, single mother trying to raise her kid, and the kid becoming kind of famous online for music. It was interesting. So, and I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was Jesse Eisenberg's his feature debut. So, not bad for a feature debut.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, not great. Not a lot of movies in January.
I'm looking at February, and it wasn't that
It's
much.
not looking hot.
This was probably my worst month for watching movies. I think I watched three of these.
Yeah.
No, four. Five. Sorry, five.
6. Wait.
7. 7, yes. Only 2 of them stood out. And that was Knock at the Cabin and Sharper.
Yeah.
So my pick for my favorite movie of February was Knock at the Cabin, based off the book. And
Could be worse.
it was a fun watch. Like I loved watching Dave Bautista kind of stretch out his acting talents. He was very good in it. I didn't like they strayed away from the book, which I thought was a good choice, but I don't like that they made like what was so good about the book. It was open ended, and the movie was very here's what happens.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. And it was, I mean, to be fair, it was a solid film too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
all right. Oh,
no. I wasn't gonna say anything. I was more just
okay.
agreeing with you.
I mean, yeah. So I've got from runners up, Baby Ruby with Jon Snow,
Kit
Harington. Yeah, wow. My God, my brain's a little slow today.
Don't worry, I have the list up
was-
too, and I can see them.
So it's very. It was kind of a thrilling look at postpartum psychosis that was actually a little anxiety inducing, but wouldn't watch it again. Let's see. 80 for Brady was very surprisingly fun. I enjoyed that a lot more than I should have.
It was very cute. It was very cute.
Yeah, I liked it a lot more than I should have. And there was one more that I wanted to shout out. Oh, Somebody I Used to Know with Alison Brie. Was actually also kind of a good rom-com. I was really happy with it. It's one that I'd go back and watch. But my best movie of February is one of the best movies that I saw last year, probably in my top 15, and that is Bruiser from Hulu. It's a little-known film, but I actually called out the main actor in it, Jalen Hall, who was excellent, and it's a really, really interesting look at African American family. It's about a family who, it's an African American family who is fairly affluent, but the son finds out that his dad, who raised him all his life, is not actually his dad, and he's actually the child of his uncle, and the uncle is like a street-going gangbanger, basically.
I see.
So it's really interesting.
Interesting.
So definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it.
All right, on to March.
Much
better month.
Yeah.
This was like the month of sequels. So some standouts for me: Creed 3, Scream 6, John Wick 4, Boston Strangler, Inside, A Good Person, Tetris, Rye Lane, Dungeons and Dragons, and 1001. And this was a real toss-up. Yeah, I liked Scream 6, especially after everything that's happened with Scream. Like, that's probably where it ends off. So I thought that was actually a good send-off. Creed 3, great way to finish that chapter, but apparently they're making another one. And then, I mean, my pick really came down to Riot Lane and John Wick 4. And I have to lean John Wick 4. That was probably...
that's a good pick.
It's probably the best action movie of the year.
Yep.
No holds barred, but yeah, this was like the first good month for me.
Yeah, this was definitely a good month. Same thing with me. Got to echo Dungeons and Dragons was excellent. Rylane is probably one of the best rom-coms of the last few years, let alone this year. Pinball, The Man Who Saved the Game, was just a really surprising, fun biopic with Mike Faced, who I cannot wait to see him in Challengers this year, and I was so mad that movie got delayed. And then obviously Creed 3, and that was excellent too. But my pick is going to go to 1001. And if I had to put a movie in my top 10 that was kind of under the radar, that would be the pick. 1001 is excellent. Tiana Taylor is really, really great, and it's another black focused film, but like those stories that they need to be told, and they're being told really, really well this year, or last year actually, I guess now. So, and it won the grand jury prize at Sundance.
I know that. Good for
Excellent
them.
movie. Yeah.
All right.
I still think that Tiana Taylor should get a Best Actress nomination. I would be very upset if she doesn't, but
I think
probably not going to.
I think she gets in. I mean, granted, like each year is different. Like last year, I think it was like a foregone conclusion it was going to be Michelle Yeoh. So like, does it really matter?
It was either Michelle Yeoh or Cate Blanchett.
Yeah, so it's like, does it really matter if like Andrea Riseborough gets in like a little honorary? Like no one's gonna pick Till Leslie, but maybe just like let her show up.
Yeah. Deserves the recognition, that's for sure.
That's how I feel about Zac Efron in Poor Things. Or not Poor Things, sorry. The Iron Claw. But April, another good month. I got some standouts starting with Air, Courting a Legend. How to Blow Up a Pipeline. Beau is Afraid. And Evil Dead Rise were the ones that stood out to me. And if you know me, you know where I'm leaning. It was Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah, of course.
That movie was
like,
it
come on.
was so great for like Evil Dead might be like one of the best franchises for horror. Just because I don't think they've really missed. Even part 3, where it's not really a horror movie, more of a little sci-fi movie, still wildly fun, very scary.
Yeah.
Had to sleep with my lights on after seeing
Oh God.
how good the makeup effects were. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. So actually, April was really good for me too, and it's tough to decide because you had Air, which is excellent. Air is one of the. I don't rewatch a ton of things like consecutively, but I have rewatched Air multiple times this year, and I'm very happy that I have. It's really great, and also working in marketing, like it was just so cool to see that take place within like a very famous company that I know. But that's just neither here nor there. Air was great. Before I go on, I got to shout out the worst movie I saw this year was Beautiful Disaster, which came out in April. That movie was straight garbaggio.
I want to shout out my worst movie of the year too, because we passed it in February. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yep.
Man,
probably would be mine, except I didn't watch it.
Yeah, good. I love all these public domain horror movies that are coming out. Can't wait for Steamboat.
Oh, yeah.
What should have been named Steamboat Killy, not Willie. Come on, guys.
Steamboat Killy. That's so good. Let's see. But back onto the good movies. Somewhere in Queens is really good. It's Ray Romano's directorial debut. And it was really solid. I liked it a lot. Better than I thought I would, actually. And also, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Blew me away in terms of... Yeah, it blew me away in terms of coming-of-age films. It's so good. It's so good. And but my favorite movie of April is... I don't know... It technically counts because it had its U.S. release in April of this year. But technically, it came out in 2022. But that's the Italian film, The Eight Mountains. which is just I don't know if you ever saw it, but it's beyond excellent for me. I loved it.
Yeah, I gotta add to my list. You
It's
spoke
very,
very,
very good.
highly of it when you first watched it.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, I haven't seen Zone of Interest yet, but like it is top 3 at least international films I've seen this year.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen a lot, but like it's within my top 5 of the year probably in total. Really great. So that is my pick for April. It's The Eight Mountains.
All right, we're on to May. It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May.
So kind of a quieter month, I guess. Just looking at it, probably. If we're looking at it, there's one movie that really stands out, maybe 2, and then there's a lot of schlock.
Yeah.
So my call-outs were Guardians 3, obviously. The best, I was going to say best like hero movie of the year, but that's not true. We'll get to that literally in a month. Blackberry.
Oh.
Phenomenal. Glenn Howerton. Get him to the awards, please. Sanctuary was a little fun, underrated movie. Not fun, really. It's a psychological thriller, really. But I liked Chris Abbott. I liked Margaret Qualley in it. And then Reality with Sydney Sweeney for HBO.
Showing off that acting range.
Yeah. Listen, there's been a lot of talk about if Sydney Sweeney can actually act or if she's just like a good-looking person. She can act. At least,
yeah, you watch Reality.
Potentially she can act. Some movies are still not the best acting, but
yeah.
But my pick, it's gonna be Guardians 3.
Yeah.
I do want to also point out that the worst day, May 12th, watching Hypnotic and The Mother back to back, because that was Ben Affleck's Hypnotic and Jennifer Lopez's The Mother. Worst acting couple I've ever seen. I'm kidding. I love Ben Affleck, but horrible.
We could have done Hypnotic for today's movie grid.
Oh, we could have, yeah. Nobody saw that.
Yeah, no. All right, so for my callouts, we've got The Machine. If you like Bert Kreischer, The Machine is very fun. It's classic Bert Kreischer. If you don't like him, though, you're going to fucking hate that movie. And then, obviously, Guardians 3 is excellent. I think it's the best Marvel movie to come out in, like, the last couple years now. So, really, really great. But what I'm going to go with, and it's a bit... it's a bit, like, unconventional. But it's still a Michael J. Fox movie, which is a documentary about Michael J. Fox. It's one of the best things I've seen this year. It's phenomenal. So good. So worth the watch.
I gotta get around to it as well.
It'll most certainly be nominated this year.
Good. He deserves it. All right, June. Very, very strong month. My call-outs, we got The Boogeyman, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Past Lives.
Call-outs. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I've been just... This is my list, and then I'm picking my winner from the list.
Gotcha. I was gonna
say. The Blackening.
Nope.
And No Hard Feelings. And you're gonna have to fight me because I can't pick two. I can't pick just one. It's Across the Spider-Verse and Past Lives are so good. Like,
you pick one and I got the other.
Okay, good. Because Across the Spider-Verse is the best. I think it's the best animated movie. I've yet to see The Boy and the Heron yet. Gonna try to do that before Oscar season comes around. And that past lives.
I will be.
You want to talk about just emotionally devastating.
Mm-hmm.
Such a beautiful film.
Past lives hurt.
Yeah.
And it hurt in the right way. And you know, obviously you got to talk about No Hard Feelings is really funny. Probably the best comedy of the year, in my opinion. I haven't seen Poor Things, though, so I don't know.
It's definitely up there.
And then Pixar's Elemental, I thought was better than most people made it out to be. I liked it. I thought it had issues, but I still liked it. But yeah, Past Lives is my pick. It's just no competition. Obviously Across the Spider-Verse is excellent, but Past Lives is so good, man. It's so good.
All right.
And then we got a big month.
We got July, which was a great time for me to go on vacation and miss Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
Had to do it a week later, but did it. But my call-outs, Sidious the Red Door. Shout out Patrick Wilson for directing it for the first time. Let's see. We've got Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it had the unfortunate timing of having to go up against Oppenheimer for IMAX.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of just faded away into the background. Obviously Oppenheimer, Barbie. I want to shout out Cobweb too, with Anthony Starr, little horror film in the dog days of summer. Talk to Me, probably top 2 horror movies of the year.
Yep.
We got They Clone Tyrone, good little Netflix movie
one.
with Jamie Foxx, who's hilarious in it,
and John Boyega.
And then Theater Camp, which that might be up there for funniest movie of the year too. But it was my number 1 movie, or it was on my top 25 of all time. It's Oppenheimer.
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah.
I will echo that in saying that Barbie, really great. I haven't seen Mission Impossible yet, but I will watch it. I'm assuming it's very good. Joyride was really funnier than I expected. But obviously the best movie of the year is Bird Box Barcelona.
It's Sympathy for the Devil, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, obviously it's Oppenheimer. I mean, come on, you cannot. That is just. It was just such an incredible film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Oppenheimer.
All right,
August. Moving on to August.
You know, it's hard to match July, and I think only 1 month came close, maybe probably past it. August, we had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, The Meg 2, which I'm only calling it out because it's The Meg. I didn't like it. I didn't like it, but I just gotta shout it out that they made a second Meg movie, and I hope they make a third, and they just fix everything that they did wrong. Shortcomings, Bottoms, which is my favorite horror movie of the comedy movie of the year.
Yep.
The Adults with Michael Cera, and Blue Beetle, another one of DC's average movies of the year.
Mm-hmm.
This was
one of their average movies of the year.
Mm-hmm. It was fine. It was, you know, it's a movie I'd rewatch at home while I'm doing something else.
Yeah.
But my pick, it really came down to Bottoms and Mutant Mayhem, but I leaned Mutant Mayhem. That movie is also hilarious. I love the kid acting in it.
Yeah, it was. I was pleasantly surprised.
I love the animation style as well.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
that's also my pick for August is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem being one of the best movies in a month is not what I expected, but yeah, it was really good. I also got to call out Gran Turismo was a really kind of exciting racing movie that I was very happy to have seen. And it was fun watching the theaters. It was like it's one of those movies that definitely plays better in theaters.
I could see that. I was when you because that movie got delayed a bit. That's one of those movies where they just kept playing the trailer like every single movie.
Oh my god, yeah.
And especially after like with the stretch of like from March to July leading up to it. Like it was the only trailer playing and I was so sick of it. I think that's why I don't like Saltburn as much because the lead in Gran Turismo is in Saltburn and he's in Saltburn and I couldn't think of anything other than these trailers.
You've just now associated.
Yeah, it's like, god. Oh, god damn, it's Gran Turismo guy. You said you were also in Mutant Mayhem?
Yeah, Mutant Mayhem's my pick.
All right. September. This was a tough month for me. I didn't watch a ton when I went down the list. It was kind of a stretch. Because like I didn't like The Nun 2 that much. That was just wasn't as big on Haunting in Venice. I know you kind of were. But my callouts were No One Will Save You, Saw X, and Fair Play. It was a toss up between No One Will Save You and Saw X. I feel like that's just my theme. Is just I like two movies, yeah, but No One Will Save You I give the edge to because I thought it was really creative. The first home invasion scene was so fucking stressful. And they only say like 2 lines of dialogue in the entire movie. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. I did like A Haunting in Venice, so I will call that out. And obviously The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar is not bad for a short film. Dumb Money was all right. I liked it. I like it less and less now that it's percolated in my mind. But I look, it might not have been the best sci-fi movie, but the creator was still pretty solid in terms of like the universe that they built or the world that they built, and also looked amazing. Obviously that's I wouldn't be surprised if it won best cinematography. It was incredible, and the fact that it was shot on a basically, a consumer level camera, a Sony FX whatever it was, that's like you can get for like a couple grand, is just blows my mind. It was shot on a Sony FX3, which is a $3,000 camera, which sounds like a lot for the average consumer, but when you put into comparison that most movie cameras cost $10,000 on the low end, and more like 20 plus, 15 to 20 plus, like on average, a $3,000 camera that anyone can buy is kind of incredible for what they accomplished with it.
Yeah, I remember. I thought that movie had like a lot of hype going in, but it's not.
No, I liked it. I did like it. I did like it.
Good.
So
good. Let's see. October. Nice bounce back month for me, at least. My call outs. I'm gonna do Totally Killer. It's a fun little slasher. When Evil Lurks, up there with Talk to Me as one of the best horror movies of the year. Don't watch it if you are if you get queasy with gore. I remember I was watching it and talking to you on Discord, and I was just like, oh my god, they're beating his head in. Oh my god. Let's see. Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
Phenomenal movie.
Really good.
The Killer got his theatrical release in October, but didn't come to Netflix until November, so I didn't know whether to count it here or then.
I would say here because the U.S. release was in October.
Yeah. And then The Holdovers. I think it's kind of easy. As good as I thought Killers of the Flower Moon was, The Holdovers is such a nice, warm hug.
Let's go!
I'm so happy Paul Giamatti and Davine Joy Randolph won some Golden Globes for their efforts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man, that movie just... Oh, boy. Well, all right, so I'll call out Killers of the Flower Moon. It's weird because, like, we had, like, there were a couple months where it was kind of, like, lower at, like, you know, last month was The Creator was my favorite month. And then this month, you know, October had 3 movies in the top 10 films of the year. Mm-hmm. And that was Killers of the Flower Moon, The Holdovers, and Anatomy of a Fall. And I gotta say, you know, Anatomy of a Fall, excellent. Already talked about it. Killers of the Flower Moon, I mean, it's epic. It's really good. It's 3.5 hours that go by like that. And obviously,
you are
Scorsese
so invested
is probably
the entire time.
Oh my god! And I think Scorsese is probably my favorite director. So you know, I liked it all that much more. But The Holdovers, man, I've watched it 3 times this year, and it just gets better every single time. It's just so good. So I gotta give it to The Holdovers. I was so happy that they won last night. I really was.
I hope that continues into Oscar season. All righty. November. Let's see. My call-outs.
Go ahead, yeah.
I have Priscilla. We talked about it a little bit. Rustin. Dream Scenario. I have The Killer here too. We're going to cross that one off. Thanksgiving. May, December. And Saltburn. And technically Maestro, but that, like, they came out in theaters in November, but came to Netflix on December 1st. Or very early December.
Yeah.
So I'm going to count it here as well. This was kind of tough because nothing stood out to me, really. Like, the movie that stands out the most to me is Monster, and I didn't see it yet. But I've heard, like, that's crazy good. But I'm going to give it to Priscilla.
Yeah.
I thought we got excellent performances out of both leads. It's really, like, kind of... It's not, like, a heartbreaking tale in the sense, like, Past Lives is, but it's heartbreaking in the sense, like, this is coming straight from Priscilla Presley, and you could see, like, all the emotional abuse that she was going through at the hands of Elvis, and how, like, she never really had support from anyone, whether it be her family or his family or, you know, her husband. But I liked it a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the Priscilla was really. I just watched it recently. You know, as I said, it's very good. Let's see. For my callouts, Hunger Games: Ballad of Songbird and Snakes was fun. If it had been 2 movies, I think it would have been a lot better. And then obviously Priscilla got a call out. But I think the movie I'm gonna pick is Maestro. Obviously had its theatrical release in November. I just love it. I the music is really good. You know, being about a composer, I was extremely impressed, and I like music anyways. So, and I thought it was really interesting.
You think he gets
So I'm gonna
nominated
go
for
with,
Best Actor?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I don't think it's a question. Will he win? I don't think so. Will he get nominated? 100%.
I feel like he doesn't have a good shot in either, but I feel like he's definitely more deserving of like the Best Director nom. Like the way he shot it was beautiful.
Yes, it was shot really, really well. The half black and white, half color style. I mean, was this his debut? His directorial debut?
I thought he did Stars Born.
He might have done something else. Oh, yes, you're right. You're right. He is proving that Bradley Cooper is a force in Hollywood. He's an extremely talented actor, and proving that he can do it behind the camera too. I mean, the only other person that, at least that I really can think of off the top of my head, that can do that is Ben Affleck.
I was just gonna say Ben Affleck, probably.
Ben Affleck's really great actor and a really great director. So I mean, doesn't happen often.
I'm just kind of. I felt like I was the same way with Tar last year. Like obviously these movies are made for the Oscars. I those don't resonate with me as much.
Yeah.
But moving on to the final month, December. Now this one, I didn't watch a ton of December releases, but the ones I did see, good lord,
oh boy,
were they good? So Godzilla -1, Eileen, Poor Things, Anyone But You, and The Iron Claw. I'm gonna see The Color Purple tomorrow night, so I mean I would love to mention that one as well as American Fiction. I'm gonna go see that one soon. I want to toss out there as honorable mention, same as I guess The Boy and the Heron. And now that I've got your good graces on Wonka, that's another one I kind of want to watch.
That's one you should bring your girlfriend to go see.
Yeah.
It's just it's cute. It's really just an enjoyable movie.
Man, I can't pick. Like I highlighted. You can't see it because of the lighting, but I literally highlighted Godzilla, Poor Things, The Iron Claw. Like those three movies are top 5 movies probably of the year for me.
Yep.
Maybe top 6 because, again, this is such a strong year. Like at the top.
Oh yeah.
I don't know where to pick. I don't think you've seen any of these.
I haven't seen I haven't seen any of them. I haven't seen a lot in December. I was very busy in December.
Yeah. So I can't like ask you, but I think I lean Godzilla just because it breaks my heart because I gave Poor Things and Iron Claw 4.5s. But Godzilla was a 5-star movie. Like everything about it was just so beautiful. Human element, Godzilla's design, the story, the music, everything.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I think the only
Godzilla
other ones
for
that I want
Best
to add
Actor.
for Best Actor.
Yeah.
That would be impressive. I think for me, I haven't seen a lot. I haven't seen any of these movies yet. I will be seeing them. I just haven't seen them yet. But I do also want to shout out 2 movies that you didn't mention. All of Us Strangers came out in theaters in December. I assume it will be very good. And The Zone of Interest, I've heard a lot of very good things about as well, that I will be seeing both of those. But I gotta give it to the movie that I really think, based on how I know I enjoy movies, I think I'm gonna like Poor Things the best.
Yeah.
So I gotta give it to that.
Like it's so good. And Mark Ruffalo, like I don't, he's such a weird guy in Hollywood for me because, like, I think he's a pretty good actor, but every time I hear a story about him, it's like everyone just likes to make fun of him, like on set.
Poor
Like
guy.
after all the Marvel stuff, like he was like he accidentally like set up the plot of like Infinity War, or he said like everyone dies, and I feel like ever since then, and probably even before then, it's just like, yeah, let's fuck with Mark.
Just like they were doing with Tom Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland's another one. I feel like everyone just likes to pick on because he's just like, well, not everyone, just Anthony Mackie likes to pick on him.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right.
All right. Well, that's the best movies that we've got for 2023. We saw a lot of movies. How many did you see in 2023?
I'm going to reveal that information on the next episode.
Okay. Well, we saw a lot of movies this year. And this was something, it was interesting because like we've both been fans of movies for quite a while. But this was really the first full year that we really dove into it head first and said, you know, we want to see as much as possible from a wide range of things. And we saw a lot. And I could not be happier to have done it in a year where so much good has been created.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if there were ever a year to really dive in, right now. And
yeah.
Hoping that 2024 can also live up to it.
I hope so. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. If you like what you heard, you know, leave a rating, share it with your friends, subscribe, follow us on your favorite platform. You can also follow us on Twitter at the Filmbox Podcast. It'll be linked in the description as well. And I want to thank Josh Woodward for our awesome theme music, per usual. And I mean, yeah, this has been. We're actually over a year and a half into this podcast now, and it's kind of weird coming to the end of our first real full year. But we love it. We're gonna keep doing it. So, you know, hopefully you keep liking it, and we'll keep doing it and sharing it, and you know, build a community. And yeah, this is we really enjoy it. So thank you guys for listening, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Don't bother to Facebook message or call me, 'cause I'm living life in airplane mode and everything is okay. I just want to play, unplug for the day and live in the moment.